This is how it was 25 years ago. 500,000 strong, all slogging through 3 days of peace, music, drugs, and mud. Promoters took a bath, but everybody had a good time. Woodstock in 1969 was a testament to the free-spirited nature of the counterculture. In 1994, things looked to be a little different. While some of the same symbols still apply, the thousands who show up better be strapped with lots of cash. Officially sanctioned Woodstock merchandise is everywhere.
It is annoying that it's like so commercialized. I mean, this says those like $35 or whatever.
I mean, you want to stay still, stay 69? No, you want to move forward. This is what concerts are today, their business. It's great.
While tickets for 1969's festival cost $24 for those who paid, this time out they run $135. A 3-day pass to the beer tent is said to cost $250.
The people who scratch together $135 just to get in here, and then they're wanting beer, and they've got to watch everybody who's got the $250 to shuck it out, go drink it. I don't think that's right.
And Woodstock Nation, some say Saugerties more resembles a police state.
Peace, Woodstock 94!
With 1,200 security guards, 2,800 portable toilets, 9 miles of chain-link fence, metal detectors, and a canine squad rooting out reefer, times most definitely have changed.
Marijuana!
Now, we had multiple fines in the first 2 days we were out here.
As first-day fans arrived to be part of the live event, Woodstock 94's pay-per-view TV coverage was gearing up.
You're seeing Pam, and you're seeing two girls sitting at the end.
20 cameras, countless satellite trucks, and hordes of technicians will beam out the festivities non-stop to millions starting Saturday morning.
We don't go off the air until 6:30 Monday morning. We're on the air straight.
And MTV will also be filing live reports with Tabitha Soren and Christopher Connolly roughing it out in the country. And VJ Kennedy will be handling the late-night shift.
I've never been to a sleepover with Aerosmith, so I'm just hoping Joe Perry is showered. Them and the Spin Doctors. Woo!
But in the end, it all comes down to having a good time. And this lawyer who attended the original says some things never change.
People like to get together with other people and have a good time and come to a huge carnival, and that's basically what this is.
Down the road from Saugerties, New York, some Woodstock veterans are planning what you might call a protest concert at the site of the original Woodstock Festival. A rival concert was canceled earlier, but Richie Havens, Melanie, and Country Joe McDonald say they'll show up tomorrow and Sunday anyway, and they'll play for free. Give me an F!
Woodstock 94, it's going on right now, and it's growing so fast that even the organizers are surprised. The 25th anniversary celebration went on all night long last night, and these folks were up bright and early in the a.m. today for day 2 of the party, but the concert has now been closed off because of overcrowding. Parking lots are full, and authorities are worried about emergency vehicles being able to reach the site. Over 250,000 fans have crowded into Saugerties, New York. Today's performances include Joe Cocker, Crosby, Stills & Nash, and Aerosmith.
Interesting mix of music for these Woodstock concerts.
Interesting mix of people, too, I bet.
That's true, too. Well, that's Eyewitness News at 6. ABC's World News Saturdays next on Channel 9.
Hope you'll join us tonight at 11, and thanks for making us your choice for news.
Woodstock 1994 is starting to look more and more like the original Woodstock 25 years ago. Hundreds of thousands of music fans with tickets have crammed onto a farm in Saugerties, New York. Thousands more have crashed the gates, carrying alcohol and drugs against the rules. One security guard says, "We have lost control." A second festival at Bethel, New York, was canceled weeks ago, but performers and thousands of fans showed up anyway. ABC's Beth Nissen is in Saugerties.
It is now the 3rd largest city in New York State. 300,000 people are living at the Woodstock concert site. If this overnight city ever had official city limits, those are mostly gone.
Right here.
So many people are crashing the gates that Woodstock 94, like the Woodstock in '69, is effectively a free concert. Who are the new citizens of Woodstock?
I really haven't slept yet, but that's okay.
They are young. They have pizza for breakfast. They inhale lunch. There is a clogged system of roads linking the residential and business districts. The merchants here take no cash. Woodstock has its own money.
Use this just like cash, 20, 40.
You could buy souvenirs, T-shirts, there's food.
There's little entertainment. There's everything.
There is even running water, although it is cold, and drainage is a problem. So is sanitation. Despite the heat and the garbage, Woodstock's own hospital reports few cases of food poisoning. There are more drug overdoses. And there has been one death due to cardiac arrest. The relatively small number of injuries is remarkable for a crowd of such crushing size, working so hard to the music. And Woodstock is a factory of rock and roll. The day shift started with Joe Cocker, who played the first Woodstock, and at this one sang a song he sang then. Some of Cocker's friends from the first Woodstock played an impromptu concert today at the original site in Bethel, New York. An anniversary concert there had been canceled due to poor ticket sales, but nostalgia brought back a few performers like Melanie and a spontaneous crowd, this one 25,000 strong. Another rock city, only smaller than its sister metropolis just up the freeway. By late afternoon at Woodstock 94, the music was pounding, and so was the rain. Just like 25 years ago, Woodstock was a mass of the muddy, the bedraggled, the drenched, with absolutely no dampening of spirits. Beth Nissen, ABC News, Saugerties, New York.
When we come back, where die-hard baseball addicts are getting their fix.
Is Alex Trebek.
You handled that very, very well. Thank
Yes?
you, Joan. Good morning, and good morning, America. I am, of course, delighted to be here with you and all of you on this Monday, August 15th. Well, the 25th anniversary Woodstock celebration finally wound down in the wee small hours of this morning, and Steve Fox has been at Woodstock, and he's there for us now. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Alex. You know, if the original Woodstock concert symbolized the motto sex, drugs, and rock and roll, it was thought that the tight security and strict rules here at Woodstock 94 would change all that, would make it kind of a 1 out of 3 ain't bad situation. Didn't work out that way, as we'll show you later in the hour. Joan?
All right, Steve, our other...
Muddy morning for those still trying to make their way home from Woodstock 94. Police say some cars are still unable to be moved, slipping and sliding, stuck in the mud. ABC's Juju Chang has a review of Woodstock, the revival.
It seemed as if a purple haze had descended over the festival as Bob Dylan took the stage at his first Woodstock. Later, the Red Hot Chili Peppers lit up the stage and pounded the crowd with their high-energy rock. There's a whole new generation who can say they, too, were at Woodstock, storming the gates, frolicking in the muddy fields, waking up in the great outdoors with as many as 300,000 people, and listening to some of the hottest bands. The lead singer of Arrested Development was born the year of the original festival. What does Woodstock mean to him?
An opportunity to express the views of our generation and express a good time also.
Unfortunately, a good time was not had by all. After the rain fell and the mud deepened, slippery pools of sludge had already sent at least half the music fans home packing and flooded the streets with the walking wounded.
You can't see the bands. It wasn't worth it.
But plenty of other fans felt it was worth it. As temperatures continued to drop, die-hard concert goers fought off hypothermia with little more than the warmth of the music. Juju Chang, ABC News, Saugerties, New York.
Stopped, and so has the rain at Woodstock 94. About 350,000 people showed up for that 3-day event. Police say there are so many people, so many cars, and so much mud, it may take another day just to get everyone cleared out of the area. That is a look at the news at 7:33. Time now for the weather. For that, we go to Orlando and check it.
It is 7:38. Woodstock 94 is now officially over. It may be a little too early to wax nostalgic over it, but it's not too early to reminisce. And our resident philosopher, Steve Fox, is in Saugerties, New York, to tell us the meaning of it all. Steve?
Sort of a big job for me, Alex. Yep. I can tell you this, the music is over, but the Woodstock 94 experience is not. Many of the 350,000 concert goers have already left. Thousands of others are trying to and finding it not all that easy because of the traffic and the mud. The mud, of course, is one of the highlights of Woodstock 94, as it was in 1969, proving once again that all you need is mud. As they make their way home, here are some of the thoughts and impressions of the veterans of Woodstock 94.
Too much to explain, man.
The whole thing is great.
You gotta come down, that's all, but it's too late now.
Successful for the promoters, a failure for the people who pay $200 and then watch 200,000 people crash the gates again.
I went to the first Woodstock, and she was too young to go to the first. So we got married, and now she's at the second one.
Yeah. Now we can tell our kids all about it.
So can you please send more money? All right, kids. Thanks.
We love you.
We love you very much. Peace and love. We're here at Woodstock, and please send more money, okay? Thanks.
Mud is wonderful.
We love mud. Mud.
You can't even walk down the hills. It's just all muddy. And I don't know how we're going to leave later because it's a big muddy hill. The rain and the rain and the rain and the rain that never stopped. It was a waste of money. That's all I'm going to say. I couldn't even see Aerosmith last night because it was pouring.
Way to the orange lot.
The orange lot?
The orange lot.
You go down to the third traffic light, that's Kings Highway, you turn right, it's about 3 miles down that road.
3 miles, we walk.
There you go.
3 miles?
Once in a lifetime.
Peace. We'll see you when I'm 57.
We have no idea where we're headed. We're from Florida, so. See you in 25.
You know, for all the hassles, the mud and the rain, people seem to have a pretty good time. As I was driving here this morning, there was this line of people trying to leave. They looked like the Walking Dead, but they died happy. And as to whether this was an overly commercial event, if Country Joe McDonald had led the crowd in a cheer this year, they would have chanted B-U-C-K. Alex?
Thank you, Steve. It's 7:41, ladies and gentlemen, and coming up next, we'll have more from Woodstock 94 as Steve Fox introduces us to the festival organizers and members of the cleanup crew. Good Morning America continues right here on ABC.
We forsake you, gonna rape you, let's forget you.
Up on 7:45. I hope I'm not showing signs of paranoia, but a little over a week ago, Charlie Gibson sat here and talked with great anticipation about Woodstock 94. This past weekend, Antonio was here, and he got to interview some of the performers at Woodstock 94. Today, I show up, and I get to deal with garbage. It's not the most glamorous part of a rock concert, but it is one of the most important, and that is cleaning up all the mess. And the cleanup job after Woodstock 94 promises to be one of the most humongous of all time. And once again, here's Steve Fox with two guys who've got all the dirt on this story, as well as two of the organizers of Woodstock 94. Steve?
Alex, let's start with Scott Wyrow. Scott, you're part of the cleanup crew. This is going to be a massive job.
It's going to be a long time. It's a lot of mud, a lot of tents, a lot of people still out there that have to go home still, so it's going to be a big job.
Any idea how much tonnage you're going to actually have to move out of there? I mean, I look out there and I see piles and piles of garbage.
We have no idea what the final tonnage will be at this time.
Not a pleasant job.
No, it's not. It's walking through the mud and getting everything up from underneath the mud. We've got to get a massive recycling project with this. Everything has to be sorted, so it's going to take some manpower.
That's, I guess that's why they call it work. Dan Parisi, you're sort of the site supervisor here. How long will it take before this site is restored to anything like a pristine condition?
Well, I think in a couple of weeks.
you know, we'll have a good handle on things.
How many people do you have at work here?
We have about 250 starting right now, you know, good labor force going in and taking a good shot at it first thing this morning.
When will the site be cleared enough for you guys to be able to go in there and go to work?
Well, if the weather, you know, we get some good weather, it'll dry things up a little bit for us, and you know, we're gonna just go in right now, first thing in the morning, and if you know the kids help us a little bit, hopefully the kids will pitch in a little bit and you know, participate on picking some of the stuff up.
I've heard that's happening. They're volunteering.
Yeah, it's you know, it's happened several times throughout the weekend. So.
All right, well, good luck, guys. I do not envy your job. Thanks very much. With me now are John Roberts and Joel Rosenman, two of the producers. Are we happy? Are we exhausted? What?
We're both. We're exhilarated. We're exhausted. I'm just looking at the once every 25 years obligatory morning after shot. And I guess it's pretty much what we expected. The kids were just fantastic.
So it looks like the Custer battleground out there with the smoke fires and all that.
Yeah, a little bit. It's amazing, though. A year after at Yasgur's, there was alfalfa growing back there again, and Dan and his crew are primed to do a spectacular job, I know.
All right, Joel, let's talk about numbers. We are told perhaps 350,000 people showed up. Does that sync with what you know?
Nobody knows. You can eyeball the crowd from the air and from the ground. Professionals have a pretty good fix on it. It seems like it was about 1/3 kids.
All right, how many of those crashed the gate? How many got in without paying? 150,000?
No way of knowing that. Really hard to tell.
Well, you sold 200,000 tickets or so?
Sold somewhere in that neighborhood, maybe a little less than that.
Let us talk about, last night I saw kids walking around 9 o'clock at night, caked with mud, freezing, like literally shivering. I mean, it's showing signs of hypothermia. What was the situation in the camp last night?
Well, you know, the weather was really pretty rough. We threw more at these kids this time than were thrown at us in 1969. We were prepared for the shift in the weather. We'd converted, Pepsi-Cola had converted their hospitality tent into a hypothermia area so kids could be brought there. So we had a lot of extra blankets. We were handing out blankets. In fact, we had thousands of them. And as far as I understand, this morning, most of the kids got through the night pretty well. And of course, the emergency teams were out all night to make sure that everybody was okay.
Okay, we've talked about some of the problems. How about personal highlights?
Well, this is a personal highlight for me, actually.
But to have it over with?
Well, you know, I'm looking at Winston Farm, the site of Woodstock 94. It was slated to become a dump site. I guess this is a preview of what it might have been if it succeeded in keeping it on that list. It's now going to become the home of the legendary home of Woodstock 94. For me, having a chance to do this event twice in a lifetime is a spectacular opportunity. To see it come off as magnificently as it did, thanks to the audience and the music, I just think that this is an incredible, incredible moment.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, guys, and congratulations. Alex?
One more question for you, and it has to do with setting this whole thing in its proper perspective. I'm just wondering if it isn't the rain and the mud that made the 1969 Woodstock and this year's Woodstock such special events, because people suffered together and they have something very special to remember. Otherwise, it's just a concert. How do you feel about that, and what's your reading from the folks you've talked to?
They look on this as a major cultural event. Even the people who were significantly uncomfortable, who are wet and muddy, basically went away saying that we wouldn't have missed this for the world. And I think that what you see here is any major cultural event that gets repeated over the years, time after time, by definition becomes more organized and more institutionalized, you know, more commercialized, if you will. Look what happened to Christmas.
All right, Steve, we'll see you in 25 years.
Let's see. You're going to do it again in 25 years?
With our walkers?
With our walkers. All right. Back to you, Alex.
All right, it's 10 minutes before 8 o'clock. Good Morning America continues in just a moment. We'll be right back.
Woodstock 94. Some of them had been there 25 years ago at the original Woodstock, and so had some of the musicians.
The one, the only, Mr. Joe Cocker! Seems I've got to have a change of scene.
Woodstock 94 kicked off with a blast from the past. The crowd was almost 300,000 strong when Joe Cocker took the stage, and they were not disappointed. This is the song, 25 years later, many people have been waiting to see. With a little help from me friends, Joe Cocker sung it back in 1969, and he's singing it again in 1994 at Woodstock 94. was as stirring as it was a quarter century ago. The 50-year-old singer's voice is still strong as ever. Hello, Joe. Hi, how are you?
I just hope we got things rolling okay.
What did it feel like when you got on stage and saw all those hundreds of thousands of people out there?
I guess maybe I'm getting older because I always feel like they're going to hurt themselves when they do all that bouncing stuff, you know, but it's a different generation. I just try.
Was this just another gig, or was there something spiritual about you being on this stage?
Well, starting the thing off today, I think a little help from my friends got through, if nothing else.
Yeah. What do you want the people to take away from Woodstock, Joe Cocker, 1994 as opposed to 1969?
Well, did you hear me just say I'll see you again in 2019? I just hope they keep it in mind for another 25 years.
Okay.
All right.
There were stars who were here in '69.
I'm not the one you want, babe. I'm not the one you need. You say you're looking for
Plus some veteran performers who were not. Just like the first Woodstock, a wide variety of musical styles paraded across the stages. From hard rock to rap to world music.
If I had ever been it before, I would probably know just what to do. Hey! Don't you? If I had ever been it before, another time around.
David Crosby, Stephen Stills, and Graham Nash were here for a 25th anniversary that marked the beginning of their career together.
How is it possible to get the intimacy of what you do for 200,000 people?
Well, I'm not sure how we do that. You know,
it's going to be easier because the technology is a lot better than it was.
Technology's a lot better than it was then. I think they'll be able to hear it. You know, I'm not sure if we can do it, but you can bet we're going to try.
By the time we got to Woodstock, we were half a million strong. And everywhere was a song.
No need to worry, the quintessential Woodstock band was in fine form.
What do you want people to take away from this Woodstock? Some Woodstock money. Peace, love, pay-per-view.
It's a new dawn. Huh?
Yeah.
It is a new dawn. My favorite moment, watching a naked man walk through Woodstock with a beard, sunglasses on, and nothing else. With the sunglasses, I didn't recognize him. It's 5 before the hour. Stay with us.